What's up, y'all? It's Cooking with Janiiiyya episode 1, and let me show you how I made my salmon and shrimp covered with the cream spinach with brown rice and sauteed green beans. Let's get into it. Alright, first thing first, you want to make sure you wash your salmon, wash it thoroughly, and then you want to pat it dry to make sure it's fully dried off before you start putting your seasoning on it. That's very important. Make sure you pat it dry. Alright, y'all, so these the seasonings I use: onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and Old Bay. That's it. I ain't use nothing else. That's it. Next, I put my aluminum foil down in my air fryer, and I put the salmon down. Now, I put butter on top of my salmon just so I can add some type of moist to it. So, yeah, and then I just put it on for 15 minutes on 400 degrees, and that's it. And I let it cook all the way through. So, 400 for 15 minutes, and that's it. Alright, so boom. So here we got the shrimp right here. I'm showing y'all. I used the exact same seasonings that I used on the salmon. Because I wanted to have that same seasoning, and I made sure I did it thoroughly. So I made sure I put all of them on one side, and then I flipped it over and did it on the same side, as y'all can see. But I made sure that I seasoned it very thoroughly all the way through. Again, Old Bay, salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and that's it. That's the only seasoning I use. I can't eat Cajun seasoning, so paprika, I can't eat none of that. So these are the seasonings I used. Alright, y'all, so here I am just throwing the shrimp in the pan, and I pretty much just let them cook for real. Like, I'm messing them around, make sure they cook very thoroughly, and yeah, this is me just putting them in there for real. And as y'all can see, this is just me mixing it around, make sure it's cooked thoroughly. And I just really let these be for real. I keep stirring it, but I just let these be for real till they cook thoroughly. So yeah, so I just let these cook for real. Alright, y'all, so this right here is how I made that cream spinach. So first I started with heavy whipping cream. Make sure I get all that in and out. Before I put the heavy whipping cream in there, I put some butter in there to, to add to it. I put that heavy whipping cream in there. Alright, y'all, so the same seasonings I put in on my seafood, I put it in there except for the Old Bay. So onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. That's the only things I put in the seasoning wise that I put in my cream. And yeah, so that's the only thing I did. Alright, so right here I'm starting to add shredded Parmesan to my sauce. Because you need some Parmesan. Now, I will tell you that you need more Parmesan than you need more than heavy whipping cream. So you're gonna put a whole bunch of Parmesan on there. Alright, but you want to make sure it's thoroughly through, because you don't have enough consistency, it ain't gonna thick like you need it to for real. So there I am, just putting the Parmesan on there. Boom. Alright, y'all, so I ain't get a clip of me putting the spinach in there, but this is me putting the spinach in there. So I'm just mixing it up. Now, you don't need to saute the spinach beforehand. You just put it in there. For real. So here I am, just mixing around for real. Mixing around. Alright, y'all, and this next step, I went ahead and added more heavy whipping cream to my cream to make sure that spinach is thoroughly through the sauce. And then I added more Parmesan. Again, I told y'all you need to add more Parmesan. So I just kept adding Parmesan for real. And that was literally my thing, like my sauce. And I just stirred it for real. Alright, y'all. So like I said, I just stirred it, and just let it sit up on there. Now, I did turn the heat up a little bit to cook it a little faster. But again, I'm just stirring it. And yeah, that's literally how I made that sauce. Now, I do want to add that I did add more seasoning. So onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and black pepper. I did add more of that to add to what I just added. So the heavy whipping cream in that Parmesan. So I just added more seasoning to it. Again, you want to make sure that you stir it to make sure that it's evenly through. Here I'm just showing y'all what the aftermath looks like after the sauce is finished. Alright, y'all, so this is me cooking the sauteed green beans. I had the frozen ones from Walmart. So basically, just put some butter in the pan, and then you just throw them in there. Now, I did my seasoning. I did, again, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, black pepper, and that was it. That's how I cooked them. I just made sure that it was cooked all the way through. That was it for that. Now, this right here is me showing y'all the salmon after it got cooked in the air fryer. Now this is what the sauteed green beans look like after the fact, like after you let them cook and you stir them up with the seasoning and stuff. But yeah, so this is exactly what I did. Now right here, y'all, I made some minute cup brown rice. I ain't gonna lie, this is how I made it. So I just put it in the microwave, put some butter in there, and just let it melt for real. Y'all, this is the final product. Let me know down in the comment section if y'all want more tutorials. But yeah, healthy options, especially when you looking at your cholesterol. So yeah, until next time, peace.